Good evening and a warm welcome to the 50th batch or the Golden Jubilee batch of IIM Bangalore. On behalf of the PGP office, I welcome you all. The chief guest, Ms. Rashmi Mohanty, Director IIM Bangalore, Professor Rishikesh Krishnan, the Dean Alumni and Development, Professor Saurav Mukherjee, Professor Ashish Mishra, Chairperson Admissions, Professor R. Srinivasan, Chairperson PGP and PGP BA, and the CEO, Karnal Arvindan. We start the program with an invocation by Anushka Roy, and then we will light the lamp. Anushka.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देवा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा गणनायकाय गणदेवताय गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणाधीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि.
Thanks for the auspicious start, Anushka. May I call upon all the dignitaries for the lighting of the lamp, please? Thank you. May I now request Professor R. Srinivasan, Chairperson PGP and PGP BA, for his welcome address.
Good evening. On behalf of IIM Bangalore, it's my pleasure to welcome all of you. This year is a very special year for all of us. This is a Golden Jubilee year. The institution is celebrating our 50th year. We are welcoming the 50th batch of MBA programs. We are welcoming the 50th batch and the largest ever batch the institute has ever seen. We are over 600 students who are coming in. Welcome to each one of you. I'm sure all of you must have been happy, proud of having made it here. And I think this is a great occasion to cherish. This is possibly one of your most special days that you've been looking forward to, at least for the last few years when you have started dreaming about being here. And this gives me a great pleasure to be welcoming you all into this program. 2023 is also a very beautiful year. Numerically, 2023 is what is called as a number. 2023 is also a Harshad number. If you know what a Harshad number is a number that's divisible by the sum of its digits. More than important than that, Harshad, the word Harshad in Sanskrit, means somebody who gives joy, a joy-giving number. So to that level, 2023, and I wish and I pray for everyone, each one of you, and for the institution, this year provides us immense amount of joy, immense amounts of fulfillment, happiness, and may all our wishes come true. I'm joined in the dais with our chief guest. Thank you, Rashmi, for joining us. And let me quickly introduce Rashmi to you. Rashmi Mohanty is the Chief Financial Officer at SBI Credit Cards. In a professional career spanning 27 years, no, she says 30 years. She keeps remembering that she was here in the same place 30 years ago exactly here. She has worked across banking, non-banking, metal, mining sector. Her areas of expertise include corporate finance, treasury, investor relations, corporate strategy, and risk management. She's worked for Vedanta Limited, GE Capital, Deutsche Bank, Clicks Capital, Religare, and has been instrumental in setting up and leading large treasury and finance functions. She's a computer science engineer from Delhi Institute of Technology, now named NSIT, and a PGP from IIM Bangalore. Rashmi has been a speaker at various industry forums and conferences covering varied topics on financial markets, NBFC, women in industry. She's also taken guest lectures on financial markets, derivatives, and M&A at various business schools. She's a practicing Buddhist and a fitness enthusiast. She is passionate about long-distance running and has participated in various marathon and ultra-marathon races in India and abroad. She's one of the first few women ultra-runners in India and has done many 100K races. Right? That's not a typo. It's 100K races. Okay. It's a pleasure to have Rashmi. The moment we reached out to Rashmi that we want you as the chief guest for the evening, she readily agreed to be here and be part of this function. In terms of what we at IIM Bangalore offer, this group of 600 students has a good mix of people from both PGP and the PGP BA programs. And as we speak, we also have the largest cohort of the PGP BA program. We have a 75 number of students in the PGP BA program. And we hope that in the next 2 years, you will be able to not only learn, but also have very enriching lives in the campus, in your careers, and take this as a step forward in the rest of your careers. Thank you very much. Good luck. See you.
Thank you, Professor. May I now call upon Professor Ashish Mishra for his welcome address, please.
Good evening. Dear students, respected chief guest, Ms. Mohanty, our director, dean programs, dean alumni, PGP BA chair, other dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to each one of you to the esteemed Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. It's with great pleasure and excitement that I stand before you as you embark upon this amazing journey. Professor Srinivasan just now said that you would have been feeling very proud and happy. This is one of the greatest days of your life. Let me give some numbers to you. You would be knowing that already, but I'll be giving us the numbers to increase that feeling of pride and happiness and the special day that you are here. So, you would be knowing that 222,172 candidates wrote CAT 2022. Out of that, 2,633 candidates applied to IMB, almost 90%. Our first shortlist, which is based on the CAT score and the section-wise cutoff, that consisted of 14,209 students. So, the 2 lakh came down to 14,209. Then we applied all our cutoffs and the 10th, 12th, and all that marks, WorkX. We eventually called 2940 candidates for interview. And out of that, 600 of you are here today. So think about it. You have earned this opportunity through the hard work, dedication, exceptional achievements. You should be proud of it, and this is indeed one of the greatest days of your life. Now, IMB is well known for its rigorous academic curriculum, world-class faculty, nurturing environment, and you can take immense pride on being part of this illustrious institution. So, all that thing is fine, good. As you begin this new chapter in your lives, please appreciate the fact that this is just the beginning. A very difficult and demanding journey that you have chosen to undertake has just begun. Your orientation starts tomorrow, and then from next Monday, that is 19th, your class starts. The time will fly, and the days will pass in a blur in which you are doing countless activities all together, and you are trying to shine through all of them. So, yeah, life is going to be difficult. It is going to be more demanding than what you have done until now. So, my best wishes to all of you once again, and this kind of a protocol that until now you have interacted with the admissions office and the admission chair, and now I hand it over to the program chair. Now, for the rest part of your 2 years over here, you are going to be handled, and you're going to be basically interacting with your program chair, and through that to the institute. Now, before I close down, I'll give you a brief of the cohort. It is all on expected lines. More than 82% are engineers. Big surprise there, isn't it? The good thing, more than 30% are women. So we have managed to get a good cohort over here. Thanks for joining us. The work experience and the age profile both kind of match. Both are 24. So 24 months of work experience, and the average age is 24 years. The PGP BA is slightly more WorkX, about 31 months of WorkX. So overall, as you know, this is the program is more about also learning from each other than learning in the classroom from the faculty. So one of our effort has been to bring in a big, good cohort to IMB, and it looks like we have kind of succeeded. So a warm welcome to you once again, and my best wishes to you once again. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Professor. May I now call upon the Director, Professor Hrishikesh Krishnan, for his address, please.
Yeah, good evening, and once again, welcome to IIM Bangalore. Let me congratulate all of you for reaching here. I won't repeat all the things that Srini and Ashish mentioned, but we are certainly very happy to have all of you with us on campus. I'm particularly happy to see you all so smartly dressed. The next time I see you like this might be during your placement or something like that, but it is at least good to see all of you all set to embark on the program. I was just thinking back to a day which actually is quite long ago. It's longer than I would like to think. It's 32 years ago, actually, when I set foot in another IIM, not this one, not as a PGP student, but as a doctoral student. But in those days, the PGP and doctoral program in IIM Ahmedabad were sort of running together. So we went through the same orientation as the PGP students. And I was thinking, it was a really exciting time. It was a particularly exciting time because if you remember that year, 1991, it was a very significant year in the history of modern India, because that's the year the liberalization process started. That's the year a lot of the economic and other policies changed. And in fact, amazingly, the policies were changing almost in real time. We enrolled in June 1991. Many of the big policy changes happened in early July. And in fact, the professors had to sometimes even modify their course material in real time just to reflect the changes that were happening in the broader policy environment. We didn't quite realize it at that time, what a big change was about to happen. And I think all of you are on the brink of another different but equally important change. And that is a change largely driven by technology. Certainly, I'm sure none of you could be immune to all the discussion that's going on artificial intelligence, particularly on generative AI. I'm sure many of you have been following the discussions as Sam Altman was here in India just a few days ago. But one thing is clear, that all this technological change is going to make a significant impact on how businesses run, whether for the better or worse, only time will tell. But change is going to be there for sure. And all of you are going to be right in the middle of that change process. So when you all graduate a couple of years from now, we would have certainly seen much more progress on not only AI, but a whole lot of other digital and related technologies. And these are going to continue to play a very significant role in how your careers unfold. In the past, we saw, or at least we thought we saw, a certain pattern in how careers unfolded. But I think for all of you, it could very well be different. So what does this mean? I think it's probably foolish to try and predict the future, because we really can't predict how all this change is going to affect us. But one thing we do know is that if we want to be able to handle all this change, we need to be very adaptable. So if there's one piece of advice I have to give you as you all embark on this journey, it's the importance of being adaptable to change on multiple fronts. This has some implications for your MBA program as well. While our MBA program is certainly one of the best designed, and just a couple of years ago we went through a major program review, and a lot of that has been incorporated into the curriculum, particularly in terms of three things: digital, data, and ESG. There is a good chance that we are going to be playing catch up, because if things really change very fast, then our curriculum will have the challenge of keeping up with all these changes. But for all of you, you can't be dependent on our curriculum alone. So I would suggest to all of you that you do keep track of the different trends that are happening outside. Certainly do insist and demand that the faculty help you understand those changes better. But if there are gaps in that understanding, I'm afraid you will have to fill them. So please be prepared. I'm sure there are many of you who are technically very qualified. Some of you, we typically have lots of students who come from the IT industry. So I'm sure many of you have that background. I'm sure many of you also come from a computer science background. So please take the help of all your friends. Take the help of people who know better. Please follow what's happening by tracking the internet and social media and whatever other sources of information you have. And just, prepare yourself for a journey of what's likely to be lifelong change and, of course, lifelong learning. Let me just add a few more things to this. The first thing I would like to add is that what we do in an MBA program is actually try to help you think. It's not so much about information. Today on Google and through various other methods, there's a lot of information out there. So it's not trying to feed all that information to you, but it's about trying to help you make sense of all that information. So if there's one thing you want to add to that adaptability, please make sure that you use your thinking faculties, that you develop them well, which also means that you need to engage actively with the class learning process. Generally, in an MBA program, we don't spoon feed people. We expect you all to come prepared to the class. Many times, class discussions will enrich a lot of the learning process. We discuss plenty of case studies. Professors will give you other exercises and assignments. These are an integral part of the learning process. You will learn very little, in my view, from textbooks. Textbooks, as I already told you, are likely to be obsolete quite fast. So it's not the textbook which might help you so much, but it's your ability to think, to learn for yourself, to draw conclusions from data, to analyze different situations, and of course to use whatever tools the MBA program offers to do that. A third important thing you might like to keep in mind is when we talk to alumni like Rashmi and others, we often get one feedback. I don't know whether that will be true in the future, but it might well be, so just keep this in mind. That one feedback we get is that of all the things which were in the MBA curriculum, the most important thing which we probably did not pay enough attention to in the MBA program is managing people. Now, we have a whole array of courses on organizational behavior and human resource management. At one level, sometimes they appear a little abstract and theoretical, but understanding how people behave, unless machines completely take over the world, is going to be a very important factor behind your success. So I would urge you to pay sufficient attention to people-related managerial issues. And a more practical way of picking those up is just to get more active in interacting with others, get more active in various kinds of group, club, whatever other activities there are on campus, get deeply involved in organizing events and whatever else the SAC is doing. So when you couple that with whatever you're being taught in the classroom, I think you will be better prepared to manage and interact with people. A fourth point I would also like to underline is the importance of attending guest talks and interacting with visitors to campus. You will find during your 2 years here that there are a number of such events organized, either by the institute or by your student clubs. But sometimes I find it a little surprising that many students don't think those are important. My own experience is that the insights you get from those talks, from listening to people like Rashmi or from our Distinguished Alumni Award winners, are equally, if not sometimes more important than what you learn in the classroom and from the professors. They will share with you a lot of tacit knowledge that you typically don't find in textbooks or in other forms of learning. So please do attend them. They're really very valuable. And then I would, again, underline the importance of doing that. Fifth point is managing time is critical in an MBA program. I think Srini already told you that you're all going to get very busy, and soon you won't quite know how your time is going by once you're in the midst of classes and everything else. I have found some of the most successful MBA students are those who manage to prioritize and use their time well. It's an art, it's a skill, it's something you need to develop. And you also need to, for example, make sure you sleep well. I would suspect that those of you who sleep well will actually do better in the long run, because it's equally important that you're physically and mentally fit. I mean, we have Rashmi here, who is the ultra marathoner. We have Saurav, I don't know if he's quite an ultra marathoner, but he's a marathoner enough. So he's another good example for all of you. And on a good morning, if you wake up early enough, you'll also see Professor Srinivasan running. He doesn't look like a marathoner, but he also runs around. So there are a lot of people here who are actually getting good exercise in various forms. So I would, again, urge you to think about that as well. So get good sleep, and to get good sleep, you need to plan your time well. Also make sure you get enough exercise. You will not find a place as green as this anywhere in Bangalore or in most parts of India as well. So you can't, there's no excuse for, staying in your room and, just looking at your screen. You better get up, get out, walk around, jog, whatever, go to the gym, do whatever you think is good. And by the way, we have an excellent sports complex as well. Please make use of it. One of the big surprises to me is that we have this wonderful sports complex, and often I don't find too many people there. So please, these are all things, small things, which I think will make a big difference to your stay here in IIM Bangalore. Okay, I'm down to the last couple of points. One point is simply about all of you being brand ambassadors of IIM Bangalore. Some of you might know that there is something called an NIRF ranking. How many of you have heard of NIRF ranking? Okay, most of you, right? Good. Okay, so the ranking just came out a week ago, and IMB came number 2 in the management ranking. But any of you know what was the dimension on which we got the best score? Perception, okay? So on perception, we got the maximum score. We were better than all the other institutions on perception. So how does that perception get built? Perception doesn't get built by accident. Perception gets built by the behavior of all of us, by the professors on the stage, by all of you down here, by our other staff colleagues, by our alums, everyone. So just keep that in mind. We would like to keep that perception score where it is, right up there. So anything you can do to help that, and I don't think it's going to be helped by putting posts on Twitter, that's not the way. It's finally going to be built by your behavior on campus, off campus, wherever you go to participate in an event on behalf of IMB, whatever interaction you have with the outside world. That's where IMB's reputation is going to be built, so just keep that in mind. Okay, I'm down to the last point. Now, while we all wish you a wonderful stay here, there are some ground rules. There is a manual of your program. Please read the manual carefully. I'm sure they will give you a slot in the orientation to do that, but even if they don't give you a slot, please read the manual. If you get into trouble of any kind, ignorance of the manual is no excuse. So please make sure, I don't want any of you to get into trouble, but some of you will. So please do read the manual and make sure you know what the rules of the game are. And there are a few things about which we are absolutely fussy, particular, and where there's no room for compromise. One of those is academic integrity. I think all of you know what academic integrity is about. It basically means no copying in exams and assignments, wherever else. I know there are new things like ChatGPT and all that. The professors will tell you what the rules are. You listen to them carefully. But please make sure you don't violate those rules. And what we are also equally concerned about is your behavior towards other people. Certainly, we don't appreciate any kind of harassment, bullying, or any kind of discrimination on any ground whatsoever. Caste, religion, region, language, gender, you can list all of them. So please make sure that your behavior during your 2 years here is impeccable. While I really love interacting with students, I must also tell you that we will show very little mercy to people who break the rules. So please make sure that you're in line with the rules. Okay, that's good. So I think you've got all the points, but the good news is you're all here. You're about to start on a very exciting journey, as all the other professors mentioned. And I wish you good luck. I wish you a wonderful stay here in all respects, not only on studies, in having fun, getting to know all your other batchmates. There's so many things you can do here, and please make use of all the facilities and infrastructure we have. And I really look forward to interacting with as many of you as possible during your tenure at IIM Bangalore. Thank you, all the best.
Thank you, Professor, for your kind words of encouragement and wisdom. May I now invite the chief guest, Ms. Rashmi Mohanty, for her address, please.
Good evening, Dr. Krishnan, Professor Srinivasan, Professor Mishra, Professor Mukherjee, and all the dignitaries here. And a big congratulations to you all that you've made it finally here. It's an honor to be welcoming you to this prestigious institute. And also, I'm very greatly pleased that I'm here today when amongst the distinguished alumni that are being honored here is my batchmate Ashok Reddy. Congrats, Ashok. You've been a pioneer and continue to be the leader in the staffing solution industry. So congratulations. And I also congratulate Abhijit and Samina for their accomplishments as well. As Professor Srinivasan mentioned, exactly 30 years ago, June of 1993, I entered the institution. A bit confused as to how I managed to get here. I was a bright student, but still, I didn't believe my luck. Nervous because it was my first time away from home, and completely intimidated by the very bright, smart minds all around me. My entry into IM and my early career years were what I call as by default. I come from a middle-class family. The parents instilled a very strong discipline, academic discipline, because that was supposed to be the door opener for us. I'm the eldest of the 3 daughters, and so unknowingly I also assumed the task of creating enablers for my sisters as well. And I was a good student, so by default chose science. I did not like biology. I was very bad with drawings, even with a scale. So medical, engineering drawing were out of the picture. And so I ended up doing computer science engineering. In the final year, everybody in my batch was appearing for CAT. And so I said, why not me as well? I got through. And then in June of 1993, as I said earlier, I landed up here. But not a clue of what am I going to be doing after these 2 years. Honestly, I just did not have a clue. But what I did do in those 2 years was enjoyed and studied some very varied subjects, some completely new to the engineer in me. Marketing, consumer behavior, economics, international finance, and I also had fun along the way. Block parties, Diwali and Holi celebrations. I met my husband here. So this OAT and this library, I have very fond memories of this place, and both of these places have a very special place in both our lives. And while I did have a clue that this degree is going to change my life, but honestly, the way it opened doors for me, I didn't know the extent of that while I was studying here. So here I am today to relive the last 30 years. What I'm going to tell you is not something new, but I just hope that with examples from my life, you will get that hope and that courage and a proof that what I'm saying are not just mere words, they're not just cliches, but if you really do put in your effort, and if you really are sincere about what you want to achieve, you can get there. You'll also have the privilege to listen in to the other distinguished alumni. My only thing that I'll tell you is listen, take what resonates, and just leave the rest behind. You've all worked hard here, and I think Professor Mishra gave out all those statistics, how many people kind of applied, how many got through, and there's a lot of hard work that's gone in. The big sacrifices you people must have made, all those missed pizza outings, movie outings, outstation trips with friends, cancelled dates, and whatnot. What you've also done is study hard, you've poured over your textbooks, you've had those discussions, and you've accomplished that you are here today sitting with all of us here. So congratulations to you all once again, and I think you all really deserve a big round of applause for yourself. So go ahead, clap yourself. But why you? Why are you here? Why did you make the cut in an interview and nobody else? Because the professors and some of the alumni who actually joined on the panel as well saw that potential in you. And what I can tell you today is that this institution has that power to unleash that potential in you and to transform you into the best version of yourself. And 2 years from now, you will be standing in the long line of men and women who've been here and then have gone ahead to distinguish themselves and the institute. So buckle up. It's going to be a roller coaster ride, I can assure you of that. It'll test your mettle. It'll challenge you. It will test some of your preconceived notions. Professor Srinivasan and Director Krishnan have already kind of alluded to the kind of setup that you're going to get exposed to. But in that whirlwind of case studies, just-in-time project submissions, that last-minute studying for the exam, and those innumerable coffee breaks, I can assure you the journey is going to be completely well worth it. What you will get is an expanded mind. What you will get is a set of exceptional skills. And what you will get is a membership into a community of brilliant individuals, people sitting next to you. So study hard, enjoy, have all the fun. And here are a few things that I'd like you to remember as you do that. One, what you've achieved up till now is behind you. You've turned a new page, and that page is blank. And you have the chance to now write your script for the future. To those of you sitting here who have an idea as to what they want to do with their life, congratulations. But to those who still have to figure it all out, it's fine, it's okay. I was in the same chair as you people are, with not a clue as to what am I going to be doing after 2 years. At the end of my 2 years here, again, in a very by default mode, influenced by my batchmates, lured by the glam of a foreign bank job, I joined Deutsche Bank. The bank had a competitive selection process to select management trainees to join the global markets division, the much coveted global markets division. I made the cut and joined the global markets division as well. The money was good, really good, I can tell you that. There was a respect that the batchmates had for us for having made it. But it was a personal situation few years later that made me leave the bank, join as a treasurer for an organization, and as they say, find my calling. The treasurer's role, it required me to take decisions for the balance sheet. It made me accountable for my decisions. I used to structure solutions. And the high that I got from structuring those solutions, getting my decision right, it was just huge. The satisfaction, the happiness was unsurmountable. So here's what I want to tell you. Enjoy the process of your search. Don't succumb to any peer pressure. Reflect on topics that ignite your curiosity. What are your natural talents? Take on internships, projects, industry assignments in the areas of your field. More importantly, look for role models and mentors in the area of your interest as to what have they done and how have they reached that position. And if you can't, and your inexperience leads you to pick up somebody else's choice, it's fine. Go ahead, use that experience to learn about yourself, pivot, because that's exactly what I did. I started my career in the financial capital of India, Mumbai. I moved to Delhi 3 years later for a personal reason, and I was told there is no way I can build a successful finance career if I'm not in Mumbai. Of the 28 years of my corporate career, I've spent 25 years in Delhi NCR. In these years, I've built a huge network in the finance fraternity across the country. I've led treasury, investor relations for 2 large NBFCs, a very large metal and mining company. And today, I'm the CFO of a public listed entity. And by the way, that's another myth buster. MBAs don't make CFOs. Only accountants make CFOs. That's not the case. I am standing here. I'm an MBA, and I'm a CFO of a large listed company. So ignore those noises that tell you it can't be done. Chart your own path. Be open to explore different opportunities and be willing to adapt as you discover new passions and interests or as you face constraints, just the way I did, of a location. To the young ladies here, there's another constraint we are made aware of, our gender. We're reminded of glass ceilings. We're congratulated when we achieve something big, when we rise with our smart work. The ceiling is imaginary. As a woman, we are wired differently. We have our nuances. We are suckers for emotion. We are constantly on a guilt trip. Many of you young ladies, when you kind of move up in life, you get a family, have kids, you will realize what I'm saying. And there are these some days in the month when we're a little slow. But I can only tell you that if you put in the effort, you work smart, there is nothing that can stop you from succeeding. So go on, make that big bang. To the people who believe there's a glass ceiling, it's the glass shattering. And for you all, it's the applause of your success. Go make that difference. But it's not easy. You will have to make sacrifices along the way and get ready to make those sacrifices. The only thing I'm going to say is that make sure that your sacrifices are worth what you're going to get. In one of my roles, I used to travel Delhi, Mumbai every week. People used to ask me, was it worth it? Totally. I was enjoying the work that I was doing. But did it mean less time with my family? Possibly. And that leads me to the next point. There will be points in your life when you'll have to take those tough choices. You have to make those tough decisions. Evaluate. Seek guidance. Put down your priorities. Understand what is it that's important for you at that point in life. And once you've taken those decisions, trust that it was the right decision given the situation. The job that I traveled for, the Delhi-Mumbai thing, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I used my experience, my knowledge, my network, my relationship, and I navigated the company out of a very difficult cycle. But 5 years later, I quit that job to spend more time with my kids. As was the decision to take up that role difficult, equally difficult was the decision to actually quit that role as well. But both were done keeping in mind my priorities at that point in time. So all I'm going to say is, turn the page, don't have regrets. The other thing I'm often asked is, did I plan my career? I didn't. And let me also tell you, career paths are rarely linear. I mean, I still have some batchmates of mine who are continuing in that. They are very lucky. But usually you'll find that career paths are not linear. You will have to pivot, you will have to find your way as to what suits you best. When I started my career as a banker, I just had no idea that 28 years later I would have crossed over to the corporate world and would be a CFO of a listed entity. But what I can tell you is that every time I changed a job, every time I took on a new role, there were a few things that I kept in mind. One, can I add value to this role? Will I learn from this role? Does this role make me nervous? Will it challenge me? Do I get butterflies every time I think that I'm going to be in that seat very soon and I'll have to do something different, something bigger? Salary, perks, benefits, they're all byproducts. And I can tell you from experience, it all averages out in the end. There will be occasions you will have to let go of your perks and your benefits, give away that big car, because the kind of job that you want to do and the kind of job that makes you happy doesn't offer that. There will be times when people are going to pay you for your experience and your knowledge, and you will be flourishing. But it's the challenge and the quality of your work which finally will make you happy, will make you satisfied. As a CFO, I sign off financial statements, and one of the requirements there is that I have to ensure that all items reported are as per the accounting standards. Now, I am not an accountant. I haven't read accounting standards. So when this offer came along, did it make me nervous? Absolutely, yes. But I did take that on. And I can only tell you that I'm learning still. What gave me confidence was the success I'd had in the past, a belief in my abilities, that I will be able to live it. I knew that I'll have to put in a little bit of an extra work to succeed in this role, but I took it on. So that's what I'm going to tell you. Overcome your fears. Okay. Growth never happens in the comfort zone. Step outside of that periphery. Step out and take on that challenge. And always seek strength from your triumphs and your victories to move ahead boldly. Use these 2 years to develop the skills that you lack or are weak at. Identify those fears that hold you back, be it public speaking, be it networking, taking risks. So if you are a shy person, be that volunteer for the group presentation to say, I'll take that job in and I'm the one who's going to be presenting this for the group project. And acquire knowledge in areas you've been interested in, but you think this isn't for me. If it's entrepreneurship that you want to go for, pursue that. If you want to move into the field of finance from liberal arts, go for it, I would say. Go for it. Okay. And how can you do that? For that, you'll have to be a lifelong learner. And I can tell you from experience that there are people who are not the smartest. They are not the most diligent either. But they are learning machines. And I think Director Krishnan, Professor Srinivasan, they've all talked about how you just need to continuously be aware of what's happening around you. Be a seeker. Continue to learn. and embrace, and especially in this ever-changing business landscape, you really have to be on your toes. You have to really know what's going on here. You actually have a benefit of not having a course curriculum and professors who are actually going to teach you some courses, but you have a vast ocean of knowledge and experience sitting just next to you. So leverage that. There are people who've come in here from different streams. I know 80% plus are engineers. That was the case in our batch as well, but they're from different streams, so use their knowledge. If you're a fresher, interact with somebody who's come here with an experience to get an understanding of what corporate world is all about. What does it feel to be out there working? What kind of challenges that you face? And Director Krishnan talked about people management. Maybe that's something they've been already exposed to. So besides your courses, learn from them. And the other thing is that your learning will not just happen in the classrooms. Your organization skills, your communication skills, your interpersonal skills, all will be tested outside the classroom. Your negotiation and persuasion skills will be tested the most. Get together in a group and try and get an agreement on the topic for your group project, and that's when you will remember what I've just told you. And may the best man or woman be in there. There's another thing I'd like to tell you. I was in Goa last weekend for a batch reunion. So I'm coming fresh from nostalgia of meeting up friends from long back, re-energized and refreshed. I met a few of them after a very long time, after a gap of 28 years. But we reconnected as if that gap was never there. So I ask you to look around yourself. There are people in this crowd who are your future colleagues, industry leaders, I don't know, friends who actually will lead large organizations tomorrow, create multi-billion-dollar companies, or maybe make a mark for themselves in the social sector. These are people sitting here with you who will be there to share your joys of your first promotion, or who will sit with you and twiddle with all the nice little buttons when you take them for a ride in your first Mercedes, or maybe a BMW, whatever your choice is, right? These are people you will run through if you're having a good day, people you will run to if you're having a bad day. So build those bonds in these 2 years. It's a bond which will last you a lifetime, and you will leverage it. You will need them the most in your best occasions and in your most difficult occasions. And if one of them actually becomes the CFO of a credit card company, you will know where to rush to. If you have to get your late fee waived off, or you have to get your credit records cleaned, you know where we'll have to rush to. And lastly, I want to talk about passion and having a hobby. It is said that one should have 3 hobbies. A hobby that keeps you fit, a hobby that keeps you creative, lets you be creative, and a hobby that helps you network. At the age of 38, I picked up a hobby which was all rolled up into one and is now a passion. I think Professor Srinivasan introduced me by telling you all what I do, what I love doing. I run ultra-marathon distances. I don't know if you're familiar what an ultra-marathon distance is. A marathon is a 42.2 kilometers, and anything over that is an ultra-marathon distance. Depending on the distance, depending on the terrain, whether it is hilly, it's flat, it's a road or a trail, you could be out there running from anywhere from 10 hours to 30 hours or maybe more. Running's made me fit, but then it has also given me a mindset which tells me that I can take on anything that comes my way. It's an attitude of saying, bring it on. The training leading to the race day and the training itself is like any book on life coaching. The lessons that you learn are deep, they're life-changing, and they're very rewarding. I've learned my lessons doing some crazy distances of 100-kilometer plus. And in those sleepless hours at night when you're running alone on a jungle track, when you're ready to give up, and yet you keep going, there are some very hard lessons that you learn. It's also a very brutal sport, but it's the most humbling activity that you will ever get to experience. when I was running in Kodai Canal a couple of years back. I'd finished all my water. I was alone. And I actually found a villager's hut, a dilapidated hut. And this person gave me water. He gave me shade to sit in. And you know how city people are? I offered him some money and he refused. And I just looked like a fool doing that. So it's the most humbling thing that you will ever experience. And I've got lots more stories to talk about and lessons that I've learned. So if anybody's interested, post-session, come and connect with me. There's lots that I can share with you. But the million-dollar question is, why do I do it? Why do I torture my body? Why do I do it year on year? It's been 13 years that I started long-distance running, and I still love doing it. Here is the answer. When you're doing what you love, it doesn't feel like work at all. You will prioritize. You will weed out all the non-productive things, like, for example, binging on Netflix, late-night parties. You will just completely do away with all of that because that's what you like doing. And that, my dear student, applies to everything in life, including the career that you're going to be choosing, the kind of jobs that you're going to be doing. So always keep your passion at the core of what you do. Have that reason, have that purpose as you chart your course. I'm also a practicing Buddhist, and its teachings of compassion, hope, courage, and self-empowerment, that I am alone responsible for my life, are my guiding principles. And from those learnings, I will just share with you one, which is that you are the protagonists of your life. You are the writers of your life script. So you choose what you want to do. You will have your parents, your elders, your teachers, they will tell you what to do. They'll give you a lot of gyan on what's right, what's wrong. But what I'm going to tell you is that you're not here to live our life. You're not here to live my life or the lives of the famous alumni. You're here to live your life. And so, write your own life script. Remember that life is not a sprint. It's a marathon. And by the way, Usain Bolt is GOAT. He is just way beyond all of us. But still, when you start looking at life, it's a marathon. So pace it well. Look after yourself, especially the mental well-being, very important. Don't give up. If you feel disheartened, that's fine. Pick yourself up again. And have fun doing whatever you're doing. All the very best to you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rashmi, for sharing your enriching journey. We will now invite Professor Rahul Dey, Dean Programs, for his address, please.
Hello and good evening. It's a great pleasure to be here and wonderful to see all 606 of you. I will first begin by congratulating you. You have made it to one of the best B schools in the world. Note, I didn't say India, I said the world. Why am I saying this? Maybe you know already, but I've just got the latest rankings with me. Financial Times, MBA rankings. We are 31st in the world, first in India. QS MBA and QS PGP, we are second in the Indian ranks. Ed Universal, we are number 1 in Central Asia. NIRF, we are number 2 in India. Just got the ranks recently. So, welcome to one of the best B schools in the world. I do not say that lightly. I am a professor of information systems, and I'm also currently the Dean of Programs. My job is to coordinate between the many different programs we have here on campus and attend to general student policies, most importantly, those related to academics. So a lot of the manuals that you will be familiarizing yourself with have either been written by me or at least coordinated by my office. So Congratulations once again on being admitted to PGP, one of the best MBA programs in the world. I have mentioned the rankings to you. As you know, the PGP is the flagship program of IMB and has been running now for 50 years. We are celebrating our 50th year, I guess you know that. It has been honed and shaped for about a half a century to deliver courses that are finely tuned to the needs of students and industry. Only recently, we undertook another review and spoke to a vast range of stakeholders. We spoke to employers, alumni, students, faculty, industry leaders, and other international business schools. Our goal was to understand what is it that the modern MBA needs and what can we do to improve our program. The result was that we have added courses, revised courses, dropped some topics no longer relevant. We are ensuring that we move with the times and needs of the future. When you graduate from IMB, you will have received the best MBA education that can be offered anywhere in the world. That is my guarantee. Thank you. These 2 years of academics you are looking at are going to be very intense. Courses, assignments, exams, quizzes, presentations, case analysis, group presentations, there will be a continuous stream of work. Weeks will fly by as you make submissions and meet deadlines. You will find that MBA education is different. It does not follow the lecture and exam format that you may be used to from your undergrad. You are required to read, inquire, ask, question, share your views in class, and network and learn from each other. This is a very important part of our education. You are required to engage with the material. Different professors will have different methods, but they will all demand you to read, understand, listen, analyze, and communicate. This is the key difference between your prior education and MBA education. Besides academics, you will be engaging in cultural activities. You will have your sports meets, cultural meets, and other extracurricular activities. To name a few, Vista, Eximius, Unmad, Sangarsh, Sangram, lots of them. It will keep you occupied. You will have panel discussions and conferences. Students from PGP are very successful in national and international competitions. I'm certain you will all be participating as you go on. Many of you will go abroad. We have one of the finest exchange networks anywhere in India. People go to foreign universities for usually an exchange term. Some of you will take courses from what is called the GNAM network, Global Network of Advanced Management. These are week-long courses. On the whole, most of you will get some international exposure. Many exchange students will visit us from abroad. They will visit us this year itself and next year also. I encourage you to participate in all these activities, academic and others, with all your energy and enthusiasm. I will also request you keep a few things in mind. One, you will certainly mix with your colleagues within your program. I advise you to mix with students from other programs also. We have many other MBA programs and a doctoral program. From your second year onwards, they will be in class with you. This is for the elective courses. Use every opportunity to work with them, play, and interact. There is much to learn from these interactions. We have vast resources on campus, from the library to internet access to sports facilities, and of course, over 100 highly accomplished faculty. I encourage you to avail of these resources. You will have to put in some time to figure out how to do this, but you must try to meet with as many faculty as you can, not just the ones who are teaching you. The program office, the PGP office, consisting of Shilpa, the manager who was here, and Vani, Preeta, Rajesh, and others, will be there to support you. And of course, the PGP chair is always there. You can reach out to them for all your academic needs and they will help you. Some of you may have to interact with my office. That's the Dean Programs Office, and there the manager Sudha Rao and the staff Archana and Bhavya will be there to help you. I will urge you to always maintain a respectful and courteous tone with all the staff that you speak to. Electives will be jointly offered with postgraduate programs. You probably know this. There is a bidding facility from which you can select a lot of courses. This will, of course, happen next year. In fact, in your third term, which is also the next calendar year. But what I will suggest is you please look at the vast array of courses. We have, in elective terms, some 40 to 50 courses on offer. It's a lot of choice. I will ask you to choose wisely, and if you don't get a course, that's okay. There are many others to choose from. Let me close with one thing. Please be very conscious of academic integrity. We value that very, very highly. Please maintain the highest levels of integrity and honesty in all your academic activities. We have adopted, for ChatGPT, I'm sure many of you are already using it, we have adopted a policy for ChatGPT which basically says, you're welcome to try it out, use it, but be open about it and say how you're doing this. The integrity part of it is very important. If you do have questions about these things, please ask your faculty or the chairperson. Thank you very much and good luck with everything.
Thank you, Professor. I'm sure the batch will hold utmost academic integrity. May I now request Professor Saurav Mukherjee, Dean Alumni and Relations and Development, for his address.
Hi, good evening to all of you. Welcome once again, and along with you, I am also formally welcoming all our alumni friends, distinguished alumni. You heard one terrific alumni speaking here, and a lot of their friends have come here to cheer them. So big hand for all of you for being here. Just think about it. You will be spending 1 year, 9 months as a student at IIM Bangalore, and then you forever become an alumni, right? So in relative weightage, I am much more important than all of them collectively sitting there. Yeah. But having said that, you are hardly going to probably hear from me. This is the time for celebration, and hence I will read out the names of distinguished alumni present here. But I must say that just because of the fact that you become an alumni forever when you pass out from this institute 1 year, 9 months later, you are such an important component of the brand of this institute. Right? I mean, we feel proud when we hear about achievements of alumni. When something goes wrong, we hope that they are not from IIM Bangalore. And when you hear that your alumni runs 100 kilometers as hobby, there is first a shock that goes up your spine, and then you said, wow, I mean, proud to have an alumni like that. All right. So the Distinguished Alumni Awards are bestowed by IIM Bangalore to our alumni who makes significant contribution, positive impact in multiple dimensions, most prominently in business, because largely we are a business school, but also if they have done something remarkable for the society, as a public policy individual, because many of our alumni are also having very important positions in the government, and also as an entrepreneur. So in all these various dimensions, IIM Bangalore alumni are making very big impact. And every year we have this process of nomination, often by their own batchmates, their peer network, or sometimes their friends, their professors who say, this is a person who should be recognized by the institute. And then there is a process of looking at what they have done. And then a committee sits who has this unenviable task of actually selecting a few from this amazing set of people who come as nominated. And so you know that it is a difficult job, and every year we only wish that, oh, maybe we could have given a lot more. But then, as law of economics says that when your when your demand is more than supply, then the price of that goes up. So we kind of probably create a little bit of artificial scarcity. Well, but having said that, what I will do here is this year we have 3 of our alumni who are being recognized as distinguished alumni. I will read out their names and their, what they have done in very brief, and then I will invite them to talk a little bit about their life and what they have done. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first DAA winner of this year is Mr. Abhijit Roy, Managing Director and CEO of Berger Pens India, who is from the batch of 1991. Abhijit is a graduate in mechanical engineering from Jadavpur University in West Bengal. He started his career with Asian Paints, joined Berger in 1996 as a product manager. He worked his way upwards as a general manager marketing, vice president sales and marketing, and took over as the managing director and CEO of Berger Pens India in 2012. From a 276 crore turnover of the company in 1996, when he joined Berger Pens, the company's sales figures today are 10,000 crores. Abhijit, you can sit there. We are not leaving you so easily. Abhijit has also been a chairman of the Confederation of Indian Industries, Eastern Region, and president of the Indian Paint Association. He is also a management committee member and vice president of the Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He is an avid reader, loves to travel across the world and listen to old Hindi songs of Kishore Kumar during his free time. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you our first DA of 2023, Mr. Abhijit Roy.
Director Krishnan, members of the faculty, dignitaries on the stage and off the stage, dear friends. There are times when one is overwhelmed by the sheer enormity of the occasion and the intensity of the emotions that engulfs him. And this is one such occasion. I am humbled and honored to have been chosen as a recipient of this award. Of all the awards received by me so far, this one is really special. I am lucky to have studied in this institute a few decades back. IMB ranks not only, as Professor Dey was mentioning, as the best, as one of the best in India, but also one of the best in the world. In the recently held NIRF ranking, you would have seen that, normally what happens is the top 3 letters of the English alphabet tends to dominate the rankings in India, which is A, B, and C. But in the NIRF ranking this time, K displays C. And very soon, you will see that B will displace A. And that's because B is the best. A stands for also best. I am lucky in many other ways too. I was born in a country that has always offered opportunity to the deserving. That is how a small town boy from Jamshedpur managed to reach the hallowed portals of IIM Bangalore. I was lucky to have been born to parents who prioritized my education over everything else. I also consider myself lucky to have an extremely supporting wife and son who stood by me through thick and thin. I have also been lucky to have encouraging friends and some incredible colleagues all throughout. You might start thinking that luck is all that is required to succeed in life. Well, that's not entirely true. It's partially true, but not entirely true. There are a few other qualities that one must develop to become a leader. And I will talk about some of the, I'll share with you some of the stories that I have from my life and 3 character traits which I think are very important to become a good leader. Number 1, empathy. And this is not taught in any business school, I can assure you that. And this is basically coming from the heart and not from the mind or the brain or the logic. And this is an example which I will give from my experience. When COVID-19 struck for the first time in India, this was a lockdown which was declared for 1 month almost. And every company took 3 decisions. One, freeze all recruitments and whatever offers had been made to campuses, postpone or cancel them. 2, try and remove some of the old people who have been there with the company for a long time and reduce the workload. Number 3, freeze salaries or reduce salaries of employees. We, on the other hand, on the very first day, took one decision, and I wrote a note to all the employees that none of them will lose their jobs, largely because these are the people who have stood by us and have worked hard to take this company to this stage, and in a crisis, we can't let them down. Number 2 is that all campus offers will be honored, and they will all join on time in the month of June. Number 3, no salary cuts of regular employees or contractual employees will happen. Only senior people may get a cut of their salaries for some time if required. Now, this was done, and what was the end result? The fear and the anxiety in the minds of the employees went away. They focused on what is possible to be done even in a crisis situation, and they started looking for opportunities. We saw that in the rural areas, there was very little impact of COVID. In fact, it was the urban areas which were very badly impacted. So we all decided that we'll focus on the rural areas, and the entire team was oriented to cater to the rural market. We had a growth of more than 25% in the rural areas in that particular year, and we managed to close the year with a near double-digit value growth. This taught us a very important lesson, that empathy can really lead to the improvement of the engagement, of the motivation, of the creativity, and of retention of employees. Number 2, positivity. Positivity goes with learning and curiosity as well. So this is a story about demonetization. All of you would have heard of it, and some of you would have, or most of you, or all of you have seen it as well. So when demonetization happened in November of 2016, suddenly sales started crashing. And we saw that, there were big queues, and, there were all people cursing the government and, cursing the fate. And so we talked and thought, that we should look at it positively. How do we come out of this situation even this month? We saw a strange thing happening, that in Kerala, the sales was going up. So I got curious, and I flew down to Kerala to understand and visit the market and see what's going on there. And I realized that the smaller dealers were happily growing. They were selling because the limit was 2.5 lakh at that point of time per month. And you could easily, take material and sell that much without any questions being asked from the government. I came back and sat with the team and decided that we will focus on these small dealers for this month. And we were one of those rare companies in India possibly who would have grown in a demonetization month as well. The third lesson is strong communication skill. There used to be a subject, I don't know whether it is still there in IMB, called WOC, or written and oral communication. We, all being engineers, we thought, time pass subject, something is to be just, whiled away, some vague quest. There's no maths, there's no problem. So what is this subject all about? And the first day we went, we were told that, you were giving this topic, you go and speak in front of the class for 5 minutes. And then the knees started shaking. We didn't know what to say, right? And then there were big learnings for us. There were 3-page, papers which we had to summarize into one paragraph, all of which extremely important learning. And the more you rise in your career, the more this skill of communication will become important. You can't, and I do not think some people have already spoken about this, while I was listening here, that communication skill is one of the most important one that you must learn. And to end it all, you have made the right choice by joining the best institute in India. Hopefully, after passing out, you will continue to stay in this country. We all get many opportunities abroad, but I can say with certainty that no other country offers the kind of excitement and opportunity that India provides today. It's definitely the fastest growing and the most exciting place to be in the world today. All the best. Have a great career ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhijit. Our next person to be awarded the DAA for this year is Mr. Ashok Reddy, who is promoter, MD, and CEO of Team Lease Services Limited. A postgraduates pass out in 1995. Ashok, the Team Lease today it employs more than 3 lakh associates with 3,500 clients across 60 plus industries in 20 Indian states. It is India's leading providers of human resource services in the organized sector, and a company that started with 4 employees has today provided employment to over 2 million individuals. So it's an amazing story of impact. Ashok and Team Lease are actively engaged with policymakers and government on various aspects of labor reform and policy changes to promote ease of doing business. He has been working with the Ministry of Labor and Employment for the last 8 years for industry implementation of various labor codes passed by the Parliament. He founded the Indian Staffing Federation in 2013 as an industry body for the sector in the country. ISF today represents the interest of about 18.5 million Indian workers. On a personal note, he engages with various old age homes and orphanages for supporting them financially. He is also a founding circle member of the Museum of Art and Photography in Bangalore. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mr. Ashok Reddy.
My batchmates here to support me. Director, faculty, professors, alumni, my batchmates, and the batch of 2025. Good evening, and it's really an honor for me to be here. You know, it was 30 years back that I was on that side, joining IIM and looking forward to what the Institute had to offer to me. You know, fast forward 30 years, I'm here receiving the DAA and seriously humbled and proud of the fact. It was an amazing, amazing 2 years of my life at the Institute. What is not to like? You know, Bangalore is a great city, the campus is amazing, you have great professors, you have great courses to select, you have an amazing peer group to be working with. And as was told to us when we were joining, there would be constellations that would form, you know, and we did have the constellations form around the girls, you know, where the boys were running around the 20-plus girls that we had. And I think the aspect of bonds, friendships, all of that kind of played out over the 2 years. And I think we were a batch of 200 people joining at that point, going through the trials and tribulations of 20-year-olds. You know, and it was an amazing experience that we went out of the campus with, the memories, the friends, the relationships, and the people, as was called out earlier, you might not be in touch with, but can always feel free to pick up the thread from when you left off. You know, and it is something that I think is exceptional to the Institute, and I do believe that being from an IIM and being from IIM Bangalore gives you that opening when you get into the corporate world or get into the entrepreneurial journey, whatever your choice is going to be. When we joined, my first year fees were highly subsidized by the government, you know, before it started getting rationalized thereon. But I think life is exacting and has poetic justice.
and I have paid my tuition dues with compound interest thereon in my entrepreneurial journey thereafter. It happens, but I'm here living to tell the tale. I think soon after the MBA, I got into investment banking and started my entrepreneurial journey 3 years after. Effectively, believed India was a very large market. India was going to be consistently warm for a very long period of time. And for somebody who has the patience and persistence, India would be a very large opportunity to address. And that is really where we focused our business on. So 2 ventures and 25 years later, I'm here. Effectively, I think in Team Lease, we found what we call the entrepreneurial triad. It's been really fun because we are running a larger company every year than we have done the previous year. It's been a lot of learning and a lot of new muscle building that we have had to do on a continuous basis. It's a profitable business, low margin, but I think it is a high volume business that effectively plays to the demographic opportunity that India is. And we genuinely believe it's good for the country. Effectively, we have touched through our employment and employability business more than 3 million lives where we've given jobs to people. I think effectively being able to create a company and a cause has been the driver for us. Postmortem's reflections have a certainty that prescriptions don't. A lot of what I know today or can talk about today, I clearly did not know when I was in MBA school or had just started my career. It has been a journey that has taught me a lot, and some of the learnings that I carry are more from the entrepreneurial side. And it is around, building a baby, creating a baby that has a growth DNA, which effectively is about nurturing to growth and opportunity. There is no one entrepreneurial trait, that somebody is cut out to be an entrepreneur and so on. Over the years, I've seen all kinds of people, who have been effectively entrepreneurs. And it always takes more time and money to do the business than what you initially envisage it to be. It's a lot of hypothesis testing. Did we know 20 years back that we would be here in the business at that point in time? No. We've said we wanted to address the opportunity in India. We said we wanted to put India to work. But there have been many paths that we have taken along the way. We've not been confused, but we've been wrong many times. It's about building a team. The aspect that's constantly called out about being able to work with people who are different from you, who aren't always and ideally exactly like you, is an important aspect of focus. And it's about aligning for the future. At least in South India, we have the dessert in the last. And I think the aspect of the realization and play out that, the aspect of rewards will come in the end and you have to work hard for it is an important variable. A lot of the learning for me has been really from the decisions taken to work on my own with people who believed in the ideas and the opportunities that existed. The worst case scenario, as we saw it, was the learnings from a failed venture that we could take and use somewhere else. And I think IIM gave me that foundation and confidence to effectively translate the desire to be an entrepreneur into action. While I've always believed classroom learning has been important, I think there is a lot to learn outside of the classroom. It's important to focus on the soft skills that will hold you in good stead to the future. Things like being self-confident, being able to question the status quo, being able to work with people, being able to forge relationships, things that have been called out earlier. Integrity, is an important variable. And I think focusing on all of that over the next 2 years for you is really what would play an important role to chart your careers into the future. I think I was very lucky to get into IIM, and probably even luckier I got out of IIM. I wasn't the top of the class anywhere on my CGPA, but I think put in a lot of hard work to be focused on academic and the non-academic areas. I'm confident enough to say that you have a great 2 years ahead of you, and you should totally enjoy that journey before you embark on your careers thereafter. In closing, we've built Team Lees on an idea and the hard work of a lot of people who are working passionately with the objective of putting India to work. I merely seriously represent them to this accolade and recognition that will effectively and truly be treasured and valued to the possibilities of what can be done and achieved in India. And it is more important for me that this comes from my alma mater. Thank you, and all the best.
We heard from a corporate leader in Abhijit. We heard from an entrepreneur from Ashok. And now, Samina Bano, who is our third recipient of DAA, is a social entrepreneur. After graduating from IIM Bangalore in 2010, and in that sense, Samina is probably one of the youngest youngest alumni to receive this award. She joined Deloitte as a management consultant, working on assignments in India and abroad. But her desire to create meaningful change led her to return to India in 2013, letting go of her corporate career to work on providing education opportunities to underprivileged children through the Right to Education Act. Through her efforts and of the organization, she implemented Right to Education in Uttar Pradesh, the 25% provision for underprivileged children in private schools. Her efforts helped secure a Supreme Court verdict, enabling 5.3 lakh impoverished children to gain admission to RTE across 20,000 schools in 75 districts of UP. I mean, these are big numbers. She also led the development of a fully integrated end-to-end online system for RTE that won the National E-Governance Award in 2022, making the process more transparent, efficient, and accessible for disadvantaged children. Over the years, her relentless efforts have been recognized with various awards and accolades, including the APJ Abdul Kalam Award for Innovation in Governance in 2016, and Women Transforming India Award by Niti Aayog and United Nations in 2022. Many of the stuff that Rashmi talked about, you will also see an embodiment of that in Samina. Her journey serves as an inspiring reminder that with commitment, hard work, and a strong sense of purpose, it is indeed possible to bring about substantial and lasting change in the society. It's my pleasure to welcome Samina Bano. Samina, we need you here.
Can I use this?
Yeah, you can.
Because I won't be visible there. You can't see me after otherwise.
Yes, please.
All right. So thank you very much, distinguished fellow award winners, Director Sir, our chief guest, Ms. Mohanty, and the wonderful, wonderful incoming batch. You're amazing. So you should pat yourself on the back. You're really amazing. A very warm evening to you. And thank you very much to IIM Bangalore for bestowing this honor to me. I feel extremely grateful and extremely honored to have been receiving this award. You have no idea what it means to me. I mean, I barely have words to express how special this award is to me, but I'll try. Let me try. So, do you have an idea? A student coming from a disadvantaged background or weaker section has 55 times less probability of making it to that chair where you are sitting today. 55 times less. So it's an extremely, extremely difficult place to reach, and it's a much more difficult place to reach for people who are coming from disadvantaged background. I'm also one of those students who had her odds stacked in the opposite direction. I was one of those students who had 55 times less chances of making it to that chair. I come from a very orthodox Muslim family where girls were barely sent to school, they barely completed education, they got married off in early age, and here I am today. And not just that, I also have a partial physical disability. I have my left leg partially paralyzed by polio. So imagine being a woman from minority community with a disability in this country, coming from a disadvantage, a very orthodox, simple, plain family background, making it to IIM Bangalore. And this happened because of this institution, which gives chance to every student and creates an equitable position, equitable place for everyone. I couldn't be more grateful to an institution like IIM Bangalore, which gave me this opportunity. And today, I not only completed this course, I also receive this Distinguished Alumni Award. So you can imagine how big, how huge this is for me. So thank you, IIM Bangalore, for this honor. Apart from that, I would also like to remember some of the people, some of the individuals who have played a big role in my life and made sure that I reach here. My parents are here. My parents have come. They have joined me. So my father, my mom, they're here. They have played a big role, and they lived through all of my unconventional life decisions. So my father, I'll tell you, I was a very rebel child. I got into medicine, and then I changed from medicine to engineering because someone told that engineering is not for girls. You know, they can't do it. And I made that choice. I left medicine, and I joined engineering. Even though my father was devastated, he didn't like it, but he stood by me. But he doesn't leave a single opportunity to make that remark, doctor hoti to pata hota na. So I still hear that. I still hear that. However, I think I'm really glad that I could make them proud. My mom, she lived through like difficult times, and I think she made sure that I was able to get educated uninterrupted, without any distraction. And her goal was very simple. Let her complete her education and let her become a school teacher, and she could be independent. She didn't know anything beyond school teacher. And she could have never imagined that I would one day become an engineer. I'm a computer engineer as well. And then I did MBA from IIM Bangalore. I'm now a distinguished alumni from IIM Bangalore. And I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm a social entrepreneur. I do wonderful things, very exciting things. So I'm so glad that I could make my parents proud. They are here. Apart from that, I think I'm really, really grateful to some of my professors, mentors, and batchmates who played a wonderful role in shaping my life. I remember one class from Professor Trilochan Shastri, sir, and that class jolted me out of my dreamland and showed me the reality of this country and the need for nation building. One of his sentences that after you complete MBA, you will be making money that would be enough to feed a whole village. And yet, there is hunger in so many villages. And that was a statement that really jolted me from inside. And I knew from that moment, I have to do something different. And I have to take a different path. So, fast forward, in early 2013, I was working as a management consultant in the US. I was having a wonderful life. I was making great money. I decided to quit my job. I came back to India. And I chose Uttar Pradesh. Even though I'm not from Uttar Pradesh, I chose Uttar Pradesh for the sheer size of the challenge. Uttar Pradesh, if I'm not sure how much do you really understand UP, UP has a population which is larger than the whole of Brazil. Had it been an independent country, it would have been 5th largest country in the world, and some of its human development indices are worse than sub-Saharan Africa. And I chose that problem, like, yeah, let's go there. Let's try to solve that problem. And IIM Bangalore had given me an opportunity earlier when I was studying here. I did my internship in Singapore. I got a job in the US. I was having an amazing life, a life which I could have never imagined. And many of my family members don't even understand what this place is and what those opportunities are. And this place equipped me with skills, knowledge, and created a platform for me that could make it possible for me to become a social entrepreneur that I am today. So IIM Bangalore card is actually your door opener. So tomorrow, wherever you go, you show your IIM Bangalore card, or you just tell you're from IIM Bangalore, and people will meet you. So it's going to be your door opener, it's going to be your license for life. So enjoy that. So thankfully, because of this IIM Bangalore card that I already had, I came back to India, I chose Uttar Pradesh, I started working in Uttar Pradesh with the government, with the bureaucrats, and my IIM Bangalore card always helped me land meetings very easily. Like Ji already said, I had to fight in Supreme Court, High Court, Supreme Court to get a public policy implemented in Uttar Pradesh. And why I did that? The reason being, it was education that made my current life possible, which was an equalizer, which completely transformed my life. So you have to understand the value of education. And I did not want it to be left to chance to other children, other students, other people in very similar situations as I was. And I wanted it to be as a matter of right, not just as a matter of chance. And that was possible only if it was worked with the system, in the public policy, with the government. And that's what I chose when I came back to India. And nobody wants to give equal rights to everyone, so there are a lot of people who don't want to do that. So I had to fight in High Court, in Supreme Court. It was a difficult battle, but we won. And today in UP, we have close to 6 lakh children now who got admission under Right to Education across 75 districts, 20,000 schools, and these are the children who come from extremely poor background. They're rickshawalas, thelawalas, bachas, and they are now studying. They have got 10 years of free schooling in some of the best private schools in the country. We recently had the first batch which completed 8th standard, and some of them, they're speaking fluent English. Some of them have become micro-entrepreneurs already. They have started business, and they are doing so amazingly well that I felt so much at peace. I think I was the happiest that day when my first batch of kids graduated. We have also started work in Gujarat, Maharashtra. We started working in apprenticeship scheme, and that is now ongoing in UP, Maharashtra. We are going to start in Kerala, Odisha. We are going to go national very soon. So that is the idea, and hopefully we succeed. And I'm sure with the kind of background, with the kind of skills, and all the good wishes I have, we will try to do our best. We'll try to accomplish better results. Before I leave, I just wanted to give you some of the gyans that I thought I had while sitting over there 15 years ago when I was sitting amongst you, could have really helped me. So a few thoughts that I thought I'll share with you. The first one is have a purpose. Have a purpose in life beyond your personal success. Personal success is important, but also think why you are here. Why you are here, not just in IIM Bangalore, why you are here on this earth. Like, what is it that you want to accomplish? And today, our country is dealing with inequality as the biggest challenge. And do not think that if you are on the right side of inequality, it's not going to affect you. Inequality is going to affect everyone. It's like a cancer, but does not kill just that body part where the cancer exists. That cancer kills the whole body. So that inequality is like a cancer which will kill the entire society if not addressed right now. And all of you will be in a position wherever you are, in business, in corporate, in government, in public space, wherever you are, you will have an opportunity to contribute to building an equal society from your own positions, from your own perspectives. Try to do that. Have some kind of a purpose in life. Second, be curious. embrace curiosity. Ask questions. So whatever you are studying, just don't study for the sake of grades. Nobody will remember your grades afterwards. So try to understand the deeper meaning behind whatever you are studying. Question whatever you are studying over here. Challenge the status quo, get multiple perspectives, get complete stories, and try to be more curious. I think that is really going to help you. Third would be embrace failure. Take risks. It's absolutely fine to try new thing, try something difficult, and fail, because that's where you're going to build resilience and you're going to learn. And I think that was something I learned over here. And many times you don't know your own potential. So when I joined, the first term is the hardest, the toughest. I'll prepare you right away. The first term is going to be the hardest. It's going to be really difficult. And that was the year, I think I remember some similar time. And we had Ramzan during the first term. And I was very anxious, how I'm going to follow Ramzan? No, it can't happen. And one of my seniors, he just reprimanded me. He's like, what the hell? Like, you should not have any excuses. Just follow it. And I was like, okay, now he has challenged me. Let me do that. So I observed the entire Ramzan. I observed the entire fasting during the Ramzan. I did my classes. I wrote exams. I did everything. And I not only got good grades in that exam, I survived. And I was like, wow, I did not know my own potential. And that was such a big learning for me, that you do not know your own potential. You will not know unless you really go and try. And things are learned, or whatever, the difficulties are overcome from here, from your mindset, from your willpower, and not from your actions and hands and bodies and anything else. It's your willpower. If you decide you're going to do something, you will do something. You will be able to accomplish it. So do not restrict your own potential by your own thinking and self-limiting thoughts. So explore, take risk, embrace failure. My fourth would be build meaningful relationships with your peers, with your batchmates, with your professors, with other people around, even with the janitor, the cleaner, or whoever. Just try to talk to them. Build meaningful relationships. These relationships are the one that's going to be helping you throughout. And then diversity and inclusion. You should pay attention to diversity and inclusion. Now, I heard about marathons, and it's so amazing, and I'll tell you my story. For me, from hostel to coming to this place is a challenge. From here to back to MDC, walking to that place would be a challenge. So that's the kind of challenge I face. So marathon is like a far cry for me. So try to find people within your batchmates who may have difficulties. They could have some kind of disabilities, or they may be coming from a culture you have no idea about, and you may find them different. Go and reach out to them, talk to them. I had some amazing batchmates who helped me through that journey, who helped me. Many times they were like, oh, Samina, you don't have to go. You know, we'll get some medicine. You need some medicine, or we'll get it for you. Or you need to go there, I'm coming along with you. Some of the best batchmates I had. So try to be more inclusive. Reach out to people who are different from you and who are probably not reaching out to you. Go and talk to them. And my sixth would be believe in yourself. It's very important that you're believing in yourself, because everyone is, top notch. So there would be a lot of competition. There would be a lot of intimidating experiences. So you do not have to, you promise me one thing, you will not engage in negative self-talk. You're not going to compare yourself to other people. So this life, just take it as another cat. The only difference is all of you are getting different question papers. So you have different realities, different challenges, different question paper, different things in life. So that is your own. Never engage in negative self-talk. Never compare yourself to other people. Do not get intimidated. Focus on yourself and you will succeed. And I'm telling you from experience. I've had those experiences in life. And today what really helps me is focus on yourself, no negative self-talk, and no comparison. And finally, I would like you to take care of yourself, your mental health. It's very important, because there would be times when things will get really, really overwhelming. So it's important that you find your way of maintaining your mental health, find a way of maintaining your relationship with the superior consciousness, spirituality, meditation, whatever you can do, and never take any decision when you are emotional. I will give you an example. One day, I was just about to write a quitting email for IIM Bangalore, I can't do it anymore. And the only thing that happened was I used to get migraine and I was taking some medicine which had a side effect of causing depression. And that evening, after taking the medicine, I did not sleep. And I was awake. I was trying to do some quants and I was not able to do that quants. And I decided I can't do IIM Bangalore course. I wrote an email that I'm quitting. And then before sending the send button, I just slept. I thought I'll send it in the morning. And when I woke up in the morning, I was like, what the hell I was going to do? I mean, I solved those questions and I was able to solve those questions. And that was such a big learning for me that sometimes emotions can cloud your thinking. So never take decisions when you're emotional, you're overwhelmed. Always take a deep breath, sit down, pay attention to your well-being, and never make such stupid mistake, which I was about to make. And I wouldn't have been here if I had sent that email on that day. So that's it. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, IIM Bangalore, for this opportunity. And a very warm welcome to all of you and my best wishes. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. Very warm welcome to all of you to IIM Bangalore. I'm Colonel Arvindan, I'm the Chief Administrative Officer. Now we'll have some of the students' events. We have the SAC President who's here. He will address you. Harsha, please come.
A very good evening to all present here. It's a pleasant evening. I know you must be feeling restless. Like last year, I was sitting just like you, feeling like what's happening, who are the guests here. So I'll start with, I thank the PGP BA Program Chair, Professor Srinivasan, for providing me with this opportunity to address the incoming batch. I, Harsha Bisaria, President of the Student Affairs Council, today beaming with enthusiasm and excitement as I welcome the newest member of this prestigious institution, the Golden Jubilee batch of PGP and the fourth batch of PGP BA. It is said education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. If that education is at one of the finest institutes with world-class faculty and richer than rich legacy, it is perhaps the perfect recipe for a successful human being. Entering the gates of IIM Bangalore signifies a significant achievement in your academic journey. And I assure you that the next 2 years will be transformative, enriching, and truly unforgettable. Life at IIM Bangalore is not just about series of classes, assignments, exams. It is an immersive experience that encompasses holistic development, personal growth, and fostering of lifelong relationships. Here, you will be challenged to push your boundaries, think critically, and embrace diversity in all its forms. We at IIMB abide by the philosophy of equality and inclusion. It doesn't matter what your background is, whether you are an engineer or whether you are not, whether you have work experience or not, your age, gender, or anything that you believe to be a differentiating factor. We do not see people through any filters. Here, and all the resources belong to everyone. We treat everyone with utmost respect, be it your peers, the massive staff, the security staff, or the shopkeepers at various stalls. One of the defining features of IIM Bangalore is its distinguished faculty, who are renowned experts in their respective fields. They'll not only impart knowledge, but also inspire you to think beyond the conventional and develop a perspective. Engage with them, seek their guidance, and make the most of their wisdom and expertise. Our campus is a melting pot of ideas, talent, and cultures. You will find yourself surrounded by a vibrant community of students hailing from various backgrounds and with the unique aspirations. Embrace this diversity, engage in meaningful conversations, and learn from one another. As the great master Shifu says, if you only do what you can do, you will never be more than who you are. We all are here to push our limits and see what we can do. There are immense opportunities that IIMB provides by virtue of being a national leader and being ranked amongst the best B school in the world. You just need to have an inspiration, an interest, and I'm sure you will find an opportunity to explore that. The extracurricular activities and the student clubs at IIM Bangalore are an integral part of the campus. They provide you with a platform to explore your passion, discover your interests, and hone your leadership skills. From cultural events to sports competition, from entrepreneurship forums to social impact initiatives. There is something for everyone. For I encourage you to actively participate in these activities, as they will not only unwind you, but also help you foster teamwork, creativity, and a well-rounded personality. As you progress through, there will be times when the thoughts of self-doubt will come up. The course might seem hectic. The times along with the pressure to perform in the summer placements. Attending classes, completing coursework, preparing for resumes, there will be a lot to dispute about. However, amidst all the chaos, it is important not to lose the sight. You have put in an extraordinary amount of efforts to secure admission at the place to be. And now that you are here, please take a moment for that feeling to sink in. You shall never forget the sense of achievement that comes along with securing admission at this prestigious college. And that will always be your guiding light while moving up the ladder here. While academic rigor and extracurricular activities are important aspects of life at IIM Bangalore, it is equally vital to maintain the healthy work-life balance. Take time to regenerate, pursue your hobbies, and cherish the friendship that you will forge here. Your batchmate will become your support system, your partner in crime, and your lifelong friends. You will soon realize that this place becomes a home away from home. I have found some of the best people in my life right now at this very place. They supported me through the thick and thin, treasured their relationship, and never let them go, as they will be your pillar of strength throughout this incredible journey. Remember, as you embark on this new chapter, that success is not solely measured by grades and placement. It is more about personal growth, resilience, and ability to adapt to an ever-changing world. Embrace every challenge with positive mind and nurture your curiosity. Never afraid to ask any questions. In case of any issues at any point of time from now on, please do not hesitate to approach any of us at the Student Affairs Council. We will be more than happy to assist you. Here, we all live by Dumbledore's quote. Help will always be given at IIM Bangalore to those who ask for it. Student Affairs Council is an elected body of representatives where each one of us carries a portfolio ranging from sports, cultural, hostel and mess, etc. However, you can raise your concern with anyone from the council at any point of time. Lastly, I would like to conclude by reminding you all that you are now the flag bearer of IIM Bangalore. The motto of IIMB, as you may all know, is Tejasvi Navaditya Mastu, which means let our learning be enlightening. And I urge you to abide by that and encourage you to stay on the path of learning as you walk out of this institute. Not with just the dream job, but a clear consciousness and a better citizen. I would like to end this address by urging you all to hold the IIMB name in the highest regard and not indulge in any activities that will bring bad name to the college. IIMB brand is something that all our previous batches, professors, alumni, and the administration have worked extremely hard over the last 50 years to build. It is now our collective responsibility to uphold the same and work towards taking the IIM name, B name, to a greater height on a national and as well as global level. Thank you all for hearing me out, and have a great evening. Wishing you all an amazing MBA experience that awaits you in the stone walls. Before I leave, I want you all to just put your hand on your heart and say, all is well.
Thanks, Harshav. All is well indeed. We'll now move on to the scholarship awards, and I request Professor Ashish Mishra to announce the scholarships.
Hi, I'm back again, but now it is for your seniors. We have a lot of alumni scholarships. Probably tomorrow I will be talking to you regarding different other scholarships and what are the things that is available. So today, considering the weather, let me quickly go through it. Aditya Shah, Siddhartha Padam Scholarship, 50,000 rupees. Ria Saluja, IMB PGP alumnus first batch, 1976 scholarship of 1 lakh. Sandeep Tripathi, Ranwal Educational Trust scholarship of 2 lakh. Sharon Trinsey, Ranwal Educational Trust scholarship 2 lakh. Ananta Ashutosh Sharma, Srimati Saraswati Kulkarni Prize for Excellence in Entrepreneurship, 36,000 rupees. Pagadala Deepak Pavan, Ubuntu Scholarship of 1 lakh. Okay. Again, Ananta Ashutosh Sharma, Moltech Scholarship, 1,10,000. You have more coming your way. Another, Aditya Shah, Moltech Scholarship, 80,000. Prabha Pandey, Moltech Scholarship of 70,000. Mansi, Nitin Agarwal Scholarship of 1 lakh. Prabal Agarwal, Dipankar Kiwani Scholarship of 60,000. Anmol Garg, Dipankar Kiwani Scholarship of 60,000. Subarna Sahu, PGP class 1989 scholarship of 2,30,000. Anand Ashutosh Sharma, again. Srimati Parvati and Vedula Krishnamurthy Scholarship Award, 50,000. Amit Mandal, PGP 98 batch scholarship, 2 lakh. Ishika, 98 batch scholarship, 2 lakh. Bitopan Das, 98 scholarship, 2 lakh. Not there? Okay. Vishal Sakya, 98 batch scholarship, 2 lakh. Nitesh Kumar Yadav, Parameshwara Iyer scholarship, 50,000. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor. We now start with the DML award winners. Anant Ashutosh Sharma. Aditya Shah. Prabha Pandey. Kaustav Brahma. Umang Dokania. Rishi Agarwal. Anmol Garg. Akshay Bhambre. Raj Shah. Viral Shah. Yeah, the 2025 batch can applaud, please. Siddharth Gupta. Ashwin Rajavan. Siddhant Rohela. Keshav Gupta. Palak Goyal. Ankit Pandey. Rohit Mudedla. Jonit Gupta. Vikrant Settipalli. Prashant Verma. Balaji MP. Akash Trivedi. Jayant Yadav. Rajat Tiwari. We now announce the PGP BA DML, Hemakshi Janyani. And Adip Garg. Moving on to the DHL awardees, Vinay Kumar. Rashi Chandola. Ayushman Mukherjee. Vansh Lakhina. Rohit Bhangale. Raghav Daruka. Abhilash PV. Aditya K. Shashwat Sanghvi. Abhas Ajmera. Ayush Gupta. Rishabh Jain. Vishrut Deepak Narayanan. Nikhil Suresh. Sarat Chandra Neriyanuri. Devesh Sood. Shashwat Mandhania. Vatsal Mankodi. Dipayan Sinha. Parth Rajgopalan. Pratyay Sarma. Harshit Nyati. Preet Shah. And Abhinav Gupta. Moving on to the section toppers, term-wise. For term 1, Anant Ashutosh Sharma. Prabhav Pandey. Akshay Bhamre. Siddhant Rohela. Palak Goyal. Abhilash PV. Parth Rajgopalan. Kaustav Brahma. Umang Dokania. Rishi Agarwal. It's okay. No, I know. Rajat Tiwari. Vishrud Narayanan. Mohit Chabra. Raj Shah. Siddharth Gupta. And Ashwin Rajivan. Thank you, Professor Rishi. I now invite the Dhwani Club for the cultural event they have planned. Please give a loud round of applause for the PGP2s who after their classes are coming here. May I just request all the dignitaries for a picture, please? Quick picture. We'll start.
Yeah, one more photo.
Can all the scholarship holders, DML, DHL, please come for a picture, please?
Darshan Bega.
Looks like it's going to be.
Thank God.
Yeah, we managed so far. We managed before that. It's showing showers were on the stage. Now. Please come on the stage.
हम लोग एकदम सामने बैठा है
Not sometimes not come. Then whoever has come has to come.
Hey, Rashmi has to be here.
I wanted to take a picture with you.
Speech is coming first, and then that's why. Yeah, that is why. So maybe next week. They will just go off. Nothing is there. So we can just then maybe announce a regular draft production. Because once these people do, they'll not come. We will not make understand from common. Setup of my
We are breaking into a 10-minute short break. You guys can go and come back till the Tal and the Dhwani teams come on stage. 10 minutes sharp.
I'll remove the podium.
Professor Sri sir,
ಲ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಅದು ಎತ್ಕೋದು
Yeah, so by 7:40, please come back here and encourage your PGP2s who have put up a cultural show. For you.
Hello.
I know, yeah.
Hello. Hello.
I think Samina will also join. I will wait. Right.
Remove.
I remove. Podium.
ಮಾಡಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನನಗೆ
ನೀವು
ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಆನ್
ನಾಳೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡಿ.
ನಾಳಿದ್ದು ಯಾವತ್ತಿದೆ ನನಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಆಗ ನಾನೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಲ್ಲ ನಾಳೆ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ 8 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಬಟ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಡೇಟ್ ಕೊಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ನಾಳೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಗಂಟೆ ಫುಲ್ ಡೇ ಸರ್ ನಾವು ಅಲರ್ಟ್ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿ ಏನಾರು ನಂಗೆ ಒಂದು ಭಾಳ ಪಾಪ ರಂಜಿತ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಲ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇವತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಚು ನನಗೆ ಏನಂದರೆ
వచ్చేసింది ఫోన్పే చెక్ చేయండి.
ಡೈಲಿ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ ಜೋಶಿ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಓಡಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಡೈಲಿ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಏನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಪರ್ ಮಂತ್ ಅಂತ ಜಾಬ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಒಂದು
ఓకే అమ్మ మీరు వెళ్ళండి.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ನನಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಶಿಲ್ಪ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಮಾಡೋರು ಅದು ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಎಸ್ ಹಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಶಿಲ್ಪ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಏನು ಬೇಕು ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಎಷ್ಟು ಗಂಟೆಯಿಂದ ಎಷ್ಟು ಗಂಟೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನಾನು ಅಲರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ನಾಳೆ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 6 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾನಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಪ್ಪ 8 ಗಂಟೆ 8:30 ಅಂದೆ 8 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿ 8 ಗಂಟೆನೇ ಸರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದು. ಎಷ್ಟು ದಿವಸ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಕೇಳಿ ರಂಜಿತ್ತು ರಂಜಿತ್ತು ಸರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸರ್ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಪ ಅವ್ರೇನು ನಾನು ಆಡಿಟೋರಿಯಂ ಮುಂದೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಯಾಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು ಮೇಡಮ್ ನೋಡ್ಸಿದ್ವಿ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಈಗ ಅವ್ರ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅದ್ರ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಚಕ್ಕತ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಇವ್ರ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ಗೂ ಹಾಂ ಇಲ್ಲ ಈಗ 2 ರೂಮ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋದು 3 ರೂಮ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋದು ಓರಿಯಂಟೇಷನ್ 001 202 ಒಂದು ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಯಿತು ಮೂರೇ. ಈಗ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ರೂಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೆಷ್ಟು ಸೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ 130 ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ ಆಯಿತು ರೂಮ್ ಈಗ MDC ಕಾಂಪ್ರೆಸರ್ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅದೇ 202 ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಅಲ್ಲ 202